But the measure of a person isn't the challenges that you face. It's how you cope with those challenges. What do you do? How do you respond to those challenges that come your way? So that's the difference between the average person and the really successful person is, what are you going to do about the issues that come across your path? Because there are going to be issues. There are going to be challenges. How are you going to manage those challenges? Now, Oprah Winfrey's got a lovely little saying that she loves to say. She says that success is when opportunity meets preparation. And absolutely, I love that simplistic approach. It's great. It really works. But for me, it's short of two things. Because no matter how great the opportunity is, or how well prepared I am to actually explore and exploit that opportunity, until I get off my butt and actually take action and actually make things start to happen for me, nothing's going to happen. So yes, it's about the opportunity. Yes, it's about being prepared for the opportunity, but mostly it's about taking action to make that opportunity actually work for me. And the other side of the spectrum is do we sit back and we go, where's opportunity going to come from? Because do we wait until 15 ducks fly over the top of our roof in the shape of a duck, or at least in the shape of a cross, and go, this is it, today's the day, opportunity's coming today? Do I hold a shell to my ear and wait for it to sort of whisper in my ear, go, today's the day? No. Now's the time, okay, for you to actually explore, for you to uncover. In fact, those very challenges that you've seen in your life, those very challenges are very often the opportunities. Because if you flip them on their head and you look behind those challenges. I mean, my own life, for example. About 16 years ago, I was involved in a road rage incident, not my proudest moment of my life. And the unfortunate side effect of all that was I actually broke my neck. Well, broke is a strong term. I fractured C5 and C6. Now, the challenge with those two vertebrae is below those vertebrae is the bits of your spine that controls your arms and your legs. So I was sort of not the happiest person. I was lying in hospital. I was paralyzed. I couldn't move my arms and my legs. And while I was lying there, I thought, you know what? I need to find something bigger than me to focus on, that I can actually have something to work towards. And there's a marathon in South Africa. It's an ultra marathon. It's 56 miles. Now, any unwise person runs those races. So, yeah, no, it's not a clever thing. It's very far. I realized that. I ran it 3 times. I mean, it's stupid. Anyway, so I was lying there and I thought, well, you know what, I've got to actually get myself something to focus on. So I thought, let me do this. And I'm a great believer in when you set a goal, put yourself out there. If you're going to commit to do something, it's all fine and well to say, I'm going to do it and write it down on a piece of paper. I take it one step further. Yeah, I write it down on a piece of paper. A little challenging when I couldn't use my arms at the time, but wrote it down here. I decided when the doctor came in, the orthopedic surgeon, he walked in and, you know when they walk in and you're looking there and the guy takes this look at you and he goes, this kid's done. There's really no hope, but, we'll kind of keep you as comfortable as possible. While I was lying there, I looked up at the doctor and I said to him, listen, doc, I'm running the Comrades next year. And he got this wry little grin on his face and I could see what's going through his mind. Really, you and which other wheelchair-bound lot, So anyway, he sort of tapped me on my shoulder and he went, give it your best shot. And it's good to aim for big things, Have big hopes, because when you've got big hopes, big dreams, you can succeed. And I did. As he saw me lying there as an invalid, I saw a different picture in my head. I saw a picture of someone that could succeed. I saw a picture of me walking. I had visions of me running this race. And I did. I ran it 3 times. But what that lesson really taught me was, here I was, driven to be successful. And my vision of success was lots of money. If I had lots of money, I was going to be successful. I was working myself to death. I was working 18 hours a day on a treadmill, going nowhere. Here I was lying, virtually unable to move, What? Money in the bank. Who did it mean anything to? No value. I had no value in my life. And so my greatest challenge, which was lying there paralyzed, actually turned into my greatest opportunity in life. At the time, let me tell you, if someone had said to me, listen, this is going to be your greatest opportunity ever, and I challenge you to actually look at your own lives. The worst challenge you've ever faced in your life, if you're really honest with yourself, and you explore it, and you look at it, and you look at it from every possible angle, wasn't it the best opportunity you ever had? And I've asked a number of people this over a number of years, and when the wound's still fresh, and it's still fresh in your mind, people often go, "You're right, you're kidding me." But when you really explore it, and you really look at it, it is an opportunity. And isn't this the chance now for you to actually create that awareness inside yourself that next time you have a huge challenge, next time something really bad or ominous happens to you, isn't that possibly an opportunity for you to sit and say, hang on a second, let me not let this upset me too much. Yeah, there's a time to let it upset you, and there's a time to mourn, and there's a time to be sad, but that's never a time to give up. It's a time to look and to explore and uncover the opportunities that are hidden, because they are hidden. They're not just going to jump out at you and go, whoopee, I'm here. They're hidden. You can find them. But guess what? Jim Rohn has a fantastic saying, and he goes, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Okay, so think about it. Another Jim Rohn one. He goes, 97% of people don't educate themselves. 97% of people don't make themselves better. That's not a bad thing, because it actually makes it easy for me, doesn't it? Because I want to be the 3%. I want to be the guy who's educating myself. I want to be the guy that Brian Tracy talks about. He talks about the EVE ratio, education versus entertainment. Now, he estimates, I think he's underestimating. He estimates that people spend 50 minutes entertaining themselves to death versus every 1 minute they spend educating themselves. I think it's 500. Okay. You think about it. You get home at night, you pour television down your throat until you fall asleep. You wake up in the morning, your radio alarm goes off. You get up, you have breakfast, you read the newspaper. All entertainment. You get in the car, what do? You listen to all that nonsense they're talking about. And what are they doing? They're telling us the more sensational they can be, the more likely we are to tune into that radio station. We spend 50% of our day shooting the breeze with our mates at work. Imagine if you can become that 3%. That just changes that ratio from 500 to 1 to 5 to 1. Where you're going to spend 5 minutes entertaining yourself versus every 1 minute you're going to spend educating yourself. The power of that is just phenomenal. And so that's one of the challenges, one of the takeaways that I'd like to leave you with here today. Look to changing your ratio. Just look at your life and look at what you're doing and what you're not doing and say, where can I educate myself? Well, get in your car in the morning. My car, ask my wife, my car doesn't drive without gas, petrol, doesn't drive without gas and an inspirational, educational CD. The average person spends 500 hours a year driving around in their car. That equates to 2 semesters at university. Why waste it? And not only are you wasting it when you're listening to all the nonsense that's going on the radio, that's what we need to do, is we need to prepare ourselves. Because when those opportunities come along, and they do, I don't believe that Richard Branson's any more lucky than anybody in this room. It's just when that opportunity comes along, people like that are prepared. They're able to take advantage of it. And that's what I'm saying here is, prepare yourself, get yourself ready. And it doesn't mean that you've got to reboot your life and do things 100% differently. I mean, our own son, Forrest was talking about him. We go away once a year and we go and brainstorm where our lives are going and our goals for the next year and where we want to go. And when he was in his last year of school, he was a nightmare. He was virtually a high school dropout. 1 minute he wanted to be an electrician, and then he said, well, if I'm going to be an electrician, what the heck do I want to finish school for? And then I'm going to be a plumber. And he was all over the place. And so obviously that was one of the issues that was the forefront of our discussion while we were away. And we kept going backwards and forwards. And then it was like, you have this aha moment. And all of a sudden, Jen said to me, we need someone to help him. And I went, well, maybe I could. And in fact, it was the trigger that made me write my first book, a book called What Now? Spelled WOTNOW. The way the kids text, that thing. And anyway, I wrote the book, but started off with experience that came from Clyde. And he went from a student that was getting 36% for his classes. I mean, the teacher said to us, they give them 35. If they spell their name right, they give them 36. So he was really struggling. And he went from that 5 months before the end of the year, just by doing small changes, because he didn't have time to reboot his life. All he had time to do was change his attitude, change his belief in himself, because that's the fourth key to success. Okay? First of all, you need to take action, but you need to believe that you're able to succeed. Because if you don't believe, nothing's going to happen. I ask you, how many people do you think exceed their own expectations in life? Nobody. So if you believe you're going to achieve that, it's unlikely that you're going to exceed it. So it's about belief. So those are the four things that you need to keep in mind: is opportunity, preparation, belief in yourself, and take action. Because until you take action, nothing's going to happen. If you're sitting in a paddle craft out at sea, and the sea starts getting rough, and you sit there and you hold your little paddle like this, nothing's going to happen. But if you take that paddle and you grab it and you start paddling, but what do? You don't just paddle. You've now got this wonderful thing called the ocean that's going to help you to get back to the shore that little bit quicker. So you can do two things. Take action. Absolutely, here we go. We're starting to move. But now we can actually, something that's really terrifying, this ocean, I can learn to surf. I can use it to my advantage. So what am I doing with that challenge that's come my way? Is I'm taking that challenge and I'm turning it into an opportunity. But where's it coming from? It's coming from here. It's just belief. It's purely, how do I view it? If I view it as something terrifying, ominous, something I have no control over, that's what it is, because that's what I believe it is. But if I change the way I think and I view the same thing, it's the same ocean, I just see it differently. Now, it's something I'm going to get in and I'm going to use to my advantage. It's going to get me back to the shore quicker, isn't it? And that's what life's about. How do you see things in your life? Do you see challenges as potential opportunities? Because the sooner you see challenges as potential opportunities, the sooner you're going to be able to take those challenges, do a few little things that you need to do to them, turn them on their head, and bring them out the other side as opportunities.